It's time to play ball. Welcome to the podcast with no limits. Whether it be sports, current events, or random thoughts, this is the place to step in and stay a while. Your host is a proud alumnus of Rio Hondo Prep, a former minor league baseball umpire, and a man with strong opinions. Welcome to the Get Home Safe podcast and your host, Matt Hersema.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Get Home Safe. Happy Thursday to everyone out there. I recorded last week on the opening night of NFL kickoff, the Rams against the Bills. I was very fired up. Posted a little reel and such. Excited for the game. I've been waiting a long time, 6 months. My energy was up. I was ready to rock and roll. Go Rams, go Rams. And then kickoff happened, and that's about as good as it got. So Rams go down in week one, as did some other teams, 15 other losses throughout the NFL. And what is hilarious to me is, what is a groundhog? Who hibernates? Bears hibernate. There's all these hibernations, right? Animals. I don't know much about this stuff, but you know who hibernates? Who hibernates better than anybody? Certain NFL fan bases. They've been hibernating. I shouldn't say hibernating. They've been hiding for the last 6 months. Not a word. No props to the Rams for winning a Super Bowl. No. Oh, the LA frauds. You guys, it was fake. Real. It was like the moon landing. It didn't happen. It was rigged. That's my favorite. It was rigged. The NFL wanted it to happen. $1 billion industry wanted something to happen. Wait a minute. Why didn't they want this to happen sooner? Why didn't they want the Rams to win in 2016 when they came to LA, when they went 4-12? Why didn't they magically do something then? They wanted the Rams to win. And you conspiracy theorists out there now, Tim Donaghy and the NBA set aside. I could believe in conspiracy theories and like the JFK assassination. Okay, there's probably a few gunmen in there. Who was involved? The mafia, the CIA, maybe both. I don't know. I could believe, but like to say, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take these $1 billion franchises. We're going to have them practice hard. We're going to have them prepare for 20 hours a day. We're going to, we're going to put all this work. Then we're going to take this ball that's not round, that bounces in weird directions. And we're going to make everything happen. We're going to make it so this team who just came to LA, the LA Rams, who doesn't have much of a fan base. So says the what do you call them? The enemies, the conspiracy theorists. We're going to put all this together and we're going to make it so that this team that has never won a Super Bowl in Los Angeles, that they do it. And all of these things, the halftime show, we'll coordinate all of this. It'll be magical. And we'll make sure the Rams are losing with 2 minutes left, and that they go up the field, that they score, and then the Bengals get the ball and they have an opportunity to score, but they don't get to score because they forget to block. We're gonna radio piece into one of the linemen. Hey, don't block Aaron Donald. We can do all this. We can coordinate all this, says the NFL. Says the most annoying fan bases in all of football, mostly 49er fans, who had a lot to cheer for on Sunday. I got to tell you. Cowboy fans, you're just irrelevant. Your season's over. You're still living in the 90s. You're still living in the past. Hey, remember how good I used to be? All that stuff. And then what's the third most annoying fan? Well, I'm going to keep it West Coast here and go Raiders. Raiders. Yeah. The streets were safe in Los Angeles on Sunday. Let me tell you. What was it? 80,000 at the SoFi, 70,000? I kid because I care. No, I don't really. So it was predictable. As soon as the Rams lose and lost badly to probably the best team in the league, people come out of the woodwork. Can I come out now and make fun of the Rams? Can I do it now? Oh, my team's irrelevant, and I've been hibernating for 6 months, but the Rams lost. Oh, you got me. Oh, you got me forever. Oh, my goodness. Yet the banner still hangs from last year. And I got to imagine being irrelevant has got to be so frustrating. That's the thing that social media has done social media has given irrelevant people a voice, irrelevant teams a voice. It makes everybody feel important. You could say the same thing about me with a podcast. Man, you have a podcast. You think I don't think I'm important at all. I don't like talking, which is hilarious. I come on here, I spew it all out for an hour, and then I'm done for the week. I'm not looking to trust me, the work that goes into this, there's no money in this. I'm not doing this for some badge, for some coupon or, prize. I mostly do this to talk to the people and to let out my frustrations. So the Rams are destroyed on Thursday night. Oh, I've never seen that before. And that's my other thing. You talk to the other, oh yeah, your team, they always backpedal. Oh, I don't expect anything from my team. Yeah, we're terrible. And they deflect. That's what they do. Much like you hear in some political arguments. But yeah, so out of the woodwork, Rams are going to be fine. They're going to be fine. And I told you guys before the season started, I'm kind of good. I'm good. I'm full. I'm playing with house money right now. My team that I've rooted for 37 years, won a Super Bowl again, this time in Los Angeles. So I'm pretty good. You guys, and you, well, Matt, you're living in the past too, and not necessarily. I talk about recent relevance. I'll give you 5, even 10 years. Where have you been in the decade? Have you consistently been in the playoffs? Have you had playoff wins? Yeah, you're allowed to win playoff games, Dallas Cowboy fans. And unlike years past. So Raider fans, they're passionate. I'll give them that. I give them that, but the Chargers are a far better team. I feel bad for Derek Carr. I really like that guy. Josh McDaniels, I think, is a very good coach, and the Raiders are going to be fine and competitive. And I could actually tolerate the Raiders winning, mostly because they're in the AFC of the fan bases, but the 49ers and the Cowboys, oh my goodness. You want to talk about it's nice when, I don't know what's worse. You guys tell me. I've been on both sides of this. When your team, the Cowboys, go into the season, they look terrible against they're terrible. And then they lose Dak Prescott at the end of the game for possibly 8 weeks. I think it'll close probably 5 or 6 weeks. And to just have your season and everything build up, and then, oh, it's all done. Just rip the Band-Aid off. Don't let me go through the whole season, lose in week 17 and miss the playoffs by 1 game, week 18, excuse me. What would be worse? I always ask, what is worse? Losing on a last-second field goal or just getting annihilated by 40 points? I don't know. I personally would like losing at the end just because, I don't know, you're still in something, but to just be beaten down, it's just like, dude, you weren't even close. Why'd you even come to this game? So Cowboy fans are doing some definite soul searching. And 49er fans, I hate using the terminology of the cool kids. I've turned into an old man real quick. And we used to high school, we'd make up our own terminology or brought some of it back from the old days even. But fire. Oh, that's so fire. I've heard it. It doesn't roll. I'm like, what is this? Fire? It's cool. But we got to go the opposite now. What's the other one? Oh, I'm keeping the receipts, man. I'm keeping the receipts of what you're all saying. Kind of clever, but at the same time, I'm 37 years old. It doesn't sound right. So what are you doing? But before I get to, I should have opened the show with this. My apologies. Happy birthday today to Valerie Burns. Another year wiser and another year of serving a sentence with me. So you know what? Congratulations and apologies to your choice in men, or recently choice in man, I should say. You know what? She's wonderful. She puts up with me. She rolls her eyes. I don't know how her head is still stuck with all the eye rolling she does at me. But she's great. She had a great birthday celebration from her coworkers I saw. And me being off on Thursdays is kind of nice. Got to kind of get stuff ready, right? Tonight we're gonna go out to dinner and have a nice little evening. Nothing too crazy because we all got to work tomorrow. But Valerie Burns, I won't say her age, because even in the age of equality, we can't, certain things you don't do. You don't talk about women's ages because that's, I guess, weird. So anyway, happy birthday to Valerie Burns. And yeah, every year football season starts just for you, my dear. So looking forward to spending a nice weekend with her. I'm thinking of taking her to the she was in the band, right? She was a big band. She was the drum major at Upland High School, played the bagpipes. I don't know if she'll listen to this or not, but I want to take her down on Saturday to USC, not for the game. I'm a working man here. Those tickets cost money, but go down maybe a few hours early, 4 hours early, go down onto campus, check it all out, check out the scene, the tailgate, and then show her the band 3 hours before kickoff. The band right out there at Heritage Hall plays for like 30 minutes. And it's just the USC band is so awesome. One of the constants in the USC athletic department. So I think we're gonna go down there. I told her, hey, I'm gonna take you somewhere Saturday, and so we'll see if she likes it. We went down there one day to tailgate for USC UCLA, and then came home. And that's kind of a fun thing to do. If you don't have tickets and you got the day to spend, man, go down to SC and hang out, and then take the train home, or whatever, jump in an Uber, just get back and watch the game on your couch, get the game experience, and then come home. I used to think that was really weird. But now, as I'm aging, I mean, I get it. I like the air conditioning. I like the no bathroom lines, and hey, you got to be down there and get the build up too. So there isn't nothing like being there as well. But hey, is what it is. USC looks pretty good, man. I will say, don't get your hopes up, people. Like it's better than the 4-8 teams we've seen in the past. And then Clay Helton leaves USC. He goes to Georgia Southern and he wins in Nebraska. Now Nebraska is one of those pretend programs that used to be, and I used to love Nebraska. I hate to say these things. Tommy Frazier in the 90s was my favorite player. That's why I wore number 15. One of a few reasons, but Nebraska is just fallen off the map. I don't know that they'll ever recover. It's not an attractive really place to go. Although I personally love Lincoln, Nebraska. Some great times there. I would go to school there. I would play ball there if I was good. But then again, you don't really know that until you're there. So, but Clay Helton takes Georgia Southern and with a huge upset in Nebraska. I'm going, okay, so you can coach. Maybe you just can coach underachievers. I don't know. Clay Helton. Anyway, we won't talk about the Helton years. We're into the new Lincoln rivalry era, and so far so good. I didn't get too high against the whole Rice thing. Like, that's Rice, come on. But going to Stanford and winning convincingly is pretty exciting. I think USC, if you break it down, offensively, they're going to be really good. Like a lot of college football now is high energy offense, score a lot of points, even more than, the NFL and such. And defense is just kind of like, all right, hold them to under, 30 if you can. Although we did see, I love when good football teams play against each other in an actual football game, not a track meet. I mean, that game last week, Texas and Alabama, 20-19, or was it 19-17? Excuse me for let's see, 17-16. Texas kicked a field goal to go up 20-19. Yeah. I mean, what a game that was. Slugfest, yards were at a premium. 4th and 1 plays. I love that stuff. I don't love the 45-42 games. Maybe some of you do, this fantasy football age we're in. But man, that was the defensive lines for both of those teams. What, how hard it is to deliver packages while you're trying to watch a game. I just got to say, I work on Saturday mornings. I'm like, I love the big noon kickoff, but I'm like, 9 a.m. I'm working until like 1. So there may have been some phone watching. We'll see. Nobody arrested me. Not while I was driving. Of course not. But maybe walking up to doorways or doorsteps. Yeah, driveways. Perhaps there was some game watching. I can't admit anything in a court of law. Anyway, big noon. That'll be one benefit of getting off Saturdays here. Hopefully, maybe starting in 2023 to be able to. But I'll have to wait until the September. Anyway, that was good. That was a good game, man. Good game. Bryce Young is a real deal. Texas should have had. They dialed up the perfect defensive play. Defenders coming in. You got to break down there. You don't have to make a huge hit, man. You just got to wrap up. Bryce Young ducked under it. Scrambles for the game-winning first down and eventually game-winning field goal. Steve Sarkisian, man, he seems to have that program in the right direction. Physical, not this, spread them out and be playful and we'll get nice passes here, passes there. Real football. And when you look at like the top 5 teams in the country, you're looking at very physical teams, mostly out of the SEC. And so I like that there are still some teams that will play old school football, even though it's spread and the gun run and everything. It all boils down to up front, the front 4, front 7, and the offensive line. And that was just a great football game, man. Back and forth. You could feel the energy in that stadium. And I enjoyed watching that. And USC, like I said, back to them. Great offense. They're last week, 3 quarters of just explosiveness, and they kind of died out. But I do like their balance. I do like, they can throw it deep, but they can also run the ball. Very physical inside. Their defense is not anything to write home about yet, but I think maybe the next few years, that will be better. So I think that is definitely a weak spot for USC. But when you look at the schedule, I mean, UCLA is always tough. I don't care what anybody says. It's a rivalry game, so that's going to matter, right? Notre Dame, same thing. Rivalry game. Anything could happen, although they look like they're going in the wrong direction. Way to go, Marshall, the Thundering Herd. And then Utah, I think, is the toughest test, hands down, on this schedule. And would you have to beat them? No, they're in the South, so you'd only have to beat them once, I think, and then play someone from the North in the championship game. But so the blueprint is there. We'll see what happens with USC. A lot to be excited about, but hold your horses, SC. We've seen a lot of fans. You get all fired up, and then you go to Oregon State and lose. Something crazy. The games still need to be played. So we will see what happens, but all things look to be good so far. Appalachian State with the upset of the at Texas A&M. Are you kidding me? What are they, 6th in the country, holding A&M to under 200 yards. And App State was in that shootout with North Carolina last week, right? That was an incredible upset. We talked about Georgia Southern, and then Marshall, the Sun Belt Conference, man. What a Saturday it was last week. Upset City, man. And I was saying, this is why you need to let these teams in the playoff, because any given Saturday, man, can they beat Texas A&M 8 out of 10 times or whatever, or 4 out of 7 in a playoff series? No. But that's the beauty of football. It's one game. It is one game, man. And the little guy can do big things, as I've seen from my alma mater, Real Hondo Prep, many times. So I'm always a huge fan of these smaller conference teams pulling big upsets. I think it's just awesome. But football, you didn't see it that often because it's a very physical game. There's 100 scholarship guys, and it's just not as likely in, say, basketball or baseball when you got maybe a good pitcher or two. But football, man, the ultimate team sport. What a awesome Saturday. I kept turning the channel like, wait, who's winning now? This is incredible. Love that stuff. So I think the top 5 programs in America are probably hands down way better than everybody else. But then when you start to get into that, all right, 6 to 10, all right, and even the 20 to 25, like, it's a lot more balanced now, I think, than it has been in the past. I don't know if it has to do with name, image, and likeness, with the transfer portal. Some guys go to a big school and they're like, I want to play, so they go to a smaller school now. I don't know what it is, but I do know with this college football playoff going to 12 teams, I think it's incredible, and it's a really, really good idea in moving forward. It's going to get more program involvement, more team. I mean, how can you not, if your team's not in it, how could you not be rooting for an Appalachian State? You know what I mean? How could you not sit there and plus, if Marshall, whoever's playing Notre Dame, I usually root for, excuse me. I usually root against Notre Dame. So I think it's great for the sport. If your team gets out of it, hey, you got someone to root for. At least that's how I look at it. So a great college football Saturday. The NFL Sunday was awesome as well. Some big upsets. The Steelers shocked the Bengals. That was a wild game. Bengals with 5 turnovers. They score potentially the game tying touchdown. Last play of the game, they just got to kick the extra point. It's blocked. They lose in overtime. Who else? That was a huge upset of the day. Chiefs looked unbelievable. Packers get beat in Minneapolis. That was kind of predicted. What else did I see? The Raiders Charger game was really, really good game, back and forth. And then Sunday night, honestly, was kind of a snoozer. Kind of weird seeing Brady out there after he retired and now he's back. And it's just like, I like the guy. I'm always going to root for him. But it does seem like, okay, the end is near. Is it this year? I thought last year when the Rams beating him in the playoffs and everything, it was like he was still firing on all cylinders, and it wasn't an awful way to go out. I mean, he had a huge comeback, and but we'll see. Is this last year? Does Tom play one more year? Until he is sitting on a yacht in September during football season, I won't believe he's done. So, well, though he's getting into broadcasting, so there's that. He's planning to do that for Fox. So I don't know. The guy is active, and all these people who, they retire, they don't know what to do. I've seen this at FedEx, even guys are retired and come back, and just because they're tired of sitting around, they're tired of playing golf. And I get it, but I mean, man, what a great option to be like, you know what, I want to do nothing. I know some people who are retired and they're like, oh, I want to do nothing, or sleep till 10, mow the lawn, get some lunch, go for a walk, take a nap, have an early dinner, whatever. Like, some people get bored with that stuff after working, for so long. And the days I have off, even like today, I'm off, but I got a lot of things. There's things to do, right? And so I look forward every now and then to just have a day where you don't do anything except maybe watch some football. So that would be nice. Monday Night Football. Let's talk about that for a minute. The Broncos at the Seahawks. Russell Wilson makes his return to Seattle. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, Monday Night Football. That sounded different, right? Seeing them holding ESPN mics and on Monday Night Football, it felt big. It was cool and everything. But I got to tell you, man, I much prefer still, even with Buck and Aikman, who I have issues with at times, I much prefer the ESPN2 broadcast, Peyton and Eli. They're just sitting on their couch like us. They're breaking down the game. They have special guests that they talk to. It's like watching the game with your buddies, although be it guys who really know what they're talking about. Two Hall of Fame quarterbacks, Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. I don't need Joe Buck to tell me, oh, what a pass by, Russell Wilson or even Troy Aikman. He breaks down some stuff and you're like, all right, that was a good eye. But I really like what Peyton and Eli bring to the broadcast. I can't believe that ESPN, when they brought in Buck and Aikman, knowing they had this other product, in Peyton and Eli. And I don't know what the numbers are, but I much prefer the Peyton and Eli broadcast to, Hall of Famers Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, even though they do a great job and are probably the best crew out there. But it sure is better than the old Monday Night Football stuff. No knock on, yes, a knock on the former broadcast teams. It was just atrocious. But it was just take some getting used to. But I honestly watched most of the game on Peyton and Eli, and I prefer it. So to each his own. It's nice to have options out there. People got some flack for booing Russell Wilson in Seattle. How could they boo him after all he did for them? It's like, well, it's because he's wearing another uniform. Like we're in this age now of like, how could they do that? How could they boo somebody who he played for us? He took us to 2 Super Bowls. Why would you boo him? Well, he's in another uniform. And if you want to have a ceremony to honor the guy during the game, before the game, like, okay, fine. But you bought your tickets to the game to see your team win, to see your team compete. Not for Russell. This is the problem I have with fantasy football. Everyone starts buying into players now. Oh, this player's great. There's no team allegiance. And we see this, people root for teams way outside their region or their city. And I've been into that a million times. And I like certain players. I root for certain. I will tune into certain games to watch certain players. I don't play fantasy football, adamantly against it. But there's nothing wrong with that. But like this idea that we're supposed to worship a player, even though he wears a different uniform than our team. I'm sorry. Like, no. What do I want to say about that? So Russell Wilson comes in. And if you remember, look at people have short memories. It was probably, and he just signed a huge deal in Denver, right? 2022. I want to say somewhere around 2020, 2017, maybe 2018. He was in these contract negotiations with Seattle. He wanted a deal done before training camp or whatever it was. And he was going to hold out. And it was a big deal. And he signed a huge deal with Seattle. Hey, Seattle, we got a deal. I think it was 4 years, $32 million at the time. A year, $32 million a year. He did the little video with his wife, right? Hey, go Hawks, right? So that happened. He kind of held Seattle hostage. That happened. Okay, we love you, Russ. And then a couple years later, he starts, and he didn't like how he was treated. Fine. But he starts trading, like trade demands. I want out of here. Wait a minute. You just orchestrated this deal with Seattle because you want to be here. You want to be paid what you're worth. And then all of a sudden it's like, never mind. I want out. And you're the one who kind of helped push the trade. So you wanted to leave. If a guy is traded, like Paul LaDuca, I was a huge Dodger fan, right? Paul LaDuca's traded. I was devastated. He was devastated when he made that first return game to Dodger Stadium as the Marlins, with the Marlins. I mean, his heart was in his throat or whatever the saying is. And I was there in the stadium. Dodger fans were just so enthused, gave him a standing ovation and everything. But then of course they cheered for him to strike out. But it was a different. Paul LaDuca didn't want to leave. He didn't want to go. And the team made a business decision. It was out in the open that Russell Wilson wanted to leave Seattle. And so as a fan, I'm like, you want to leave us after everything we've been through? Like, yeah, you did great things for us, but you want, like, as a fan, you can't understand that. That's why I'm so hard on like LeBron James. Like, he was in his, you can live wherever you want, right? You can play wherever you want, fine. But when you are in your home city and you abandon, oh, I'm all about Ohio and Cleveland. And then you abandon those people, not once, but twice. I mean, and then you want to pretend that you care about the city of Ohio and the people, and like, no, people despise you. They're going to, oh yeah, he championship this, championship that. But I think Seattle has every right to boo Russell Wilson. You left us. If an ex-girlfriend shows up with a new guy, you might be cordial. You might shake hands, do the half hug thing. I don't know. I haven't really been in this situation, but it's a what if. But are you going to go to the guy and start talking? Oh man, she was so amazing. She was, you know what? We had some great times. Remember that summer? And you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't start talking to an ex's new flame and be like, man, she's the best, man. You know what? Good luck to you. You know what? I'm over here doing my thing. New job. I'm okay. But you guys, oh, look at you. I am rooting for you. Nah, I'm really not. And we all do that relation. Oh, did I win the breakup? Or, that whole thing. Like they do that with Brady and Belichick all the time. And Brady, yeah, he wanted out too, but he made it clear. This is my last season. He was actually towards the end, and he was kind of being pushed out. So there's a difference. There's a difference in the two. And how could you boo him? It's like, are we that soft in America now? We can't boo athletes that make $30 million a year. That's not allowed. How could you? No, look, I have no issue with Russell Wilson. I actually umpired him when he was in the minor leagues back in 2010. Not Quad Cities. I did go to a Quad Cities in Iowa, but Tri-Cities in Washington. Oh man, which is ironic because then he became a Seahawk in the Seattle, Washington. But he was a good guy. He was just one of the guys. Everyone's like, yeah, that's a quarterback for NC State. And it was just like, kind of a normal dude. Didn't stand out or anything. Very polite. We got into one argument, I think, one time about he played second base. It was a ground ball that with a runner on first. It hit the lip where the grass and the dirt meet, and it kicked off. And he was trying to tell me it hit the runner. And I'm like, no, Russell, it didn't. It hit the lip of the grass. And plus, this is Tri-Cities, Pasco, Washington, whatever. Just a godforsaken place. And I'm like, this ground is awful. And I feel for you having to play here as an infielder, but that ball clearly hit the lip and kicked off. It didn't hit the runner. And he said his piece and let it go. So that was my only interaction really with Russell Wilson. The only time it was semi-heated. So I got nothing against the guy. I think he's a good guy, true competitor. But I don't know, man. Like, did you kind of ask for this? If you ask for a new home, a new relationship, a new whatever, you can't be angry by the reaction to it all. I mean, these people pay thousands of dollars to go to Seahawk games and probably pay for that stuff well before you were traded. So I got no issue with booing Russell Wilson. It's not personal, it's business, right? And so if you're gonna say it's not personal and go make your hundreds of millions of dollars somewhere else, then for me, the fans, they're not booing Russell Wilson personally. They're booing him from a business standpoint. You left us. There's no ill will. We'll love you forever for all the things you did, but this is a business. I'm a Seahawk guy. I bought these tickets. You know what? I'll wear your jersey still or whatever, but you left. You made a business decision. This is my business decision. I'm going to boo you. And rightfully so. And booing and hurting feelings, that's still allowed, I think, here in the great United States of America. Okay, on to something else. Let's get a hit here first. I bring this coffee out sometimes and I sit it here. I get talking. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah. And it's all cold now and stuff. So might need a refill. There's a lot of virtue signaling going on always. People want to feel important when they want to feel like they're doing their part, that they care. Right. And so you see a lot of Ukraine flags, right? And there's a war going on and we pray for the Ukraine people. I'm a big supporter, the boxers there that have been on the front lines, come to fight, go back, like celebrities kind of going into Ukraine for like these, virtue signaling photos and stuff. I'm like, you sneaking in there and then leaving. Why don't you pick up a rifle or something, But anyway, this whole Ukraine thing, without getting into too much of the details and politics of it, you see Ukraine flags everywhere here in America on social media icons, right? And hey, that's cool, man. That's cool. You're supporting another country. Maybe you are Ukrainian. Sean McVay's wife, Veronica, she is Ukrainian. She has family in Ukraine. So there is deep concern there from her family and such. And again, I'm not saying anything bad about the Ukraine people or supporting them. I just have a different take on this. And that is, we're really quick to raise the flag for, Ukraine and show support for them in a war zone. But yet, how come we don't do this for like the war zones going on here in America? Wouldn't it be the same thing if we put up a Chicago flag? You think that would get the same support if we put up a Chicago flag in our profile, our social media? We hung a Chicago flag outside our the city of Chicago. It's a light blue, red, and white, I think, is kind of the Chicago logo. How come people don't do that? And well, here's what I want you guys to do for the next few weeks. I want you to Google, just Google, no special site or anything. Google people killed in Chicago, people shot in Chicago, because it's two different numbers, obviously. And every week, and Lori Lightfoot sits there as the the proud leader of that city, who hates police and hates law and order. And the city continues to get worse. And this is just an example. Chicago probably is the worst, but it's LA, it's Philadelphia. Pick your poison. Any big city really run by a certain wing. But how come we don't do that? We just there's mass shootings that go on every now and then, and we drop everything we're doing. Oh my, this is awful. How could this happen? This take away guns. It'll never happen again. Make guns illegal like they are in Chicago, and then there's no shootings and murders. And wait. But how come we don't raise a flag for Chicago? It's a great city, great pizza, great sports. I've been there many times. I was there in 2018 last. Love Chicago. But that city is kind of, I saw a meme. It was funny. It showed Al Capone smoking a cigar. He said, this city was way more safe when I was running it. That's something to be said. When a mobster running the city there, it was safer. I believe it. I really, really believe it. So just every week, every now and then, look up how many people shot in Chicago, how many people shot in Los Angeles, and why we don't even think about it. It's just like, oh, this city's run by someone with a D by their name, but we're not going to. They can't fix everything. No. We need to outlaw police. Get rid of police. That'll fix it. I'd like to see more Chicago flags. That's all I'm saying. Not Bears flags, not Bulls, not Cubs. The city of Chicago, the war zone that it is. How about that for virtue signaling? And again, to the Ukraine people, keep fighting the good fight. Beat those Russians, man. Russians going in there thinking they were just going to dominate the game, right? Ukrainians putting up a fight. Love it. Love it. Fighting spirit anywhere is great. Don't back down from those dudes. So anyway, those just guys, I talk to you about random thoughts here, and this is what I do on the podcast. Get home safe. Maybe some of you are like rolling your eyes, like Valerie does to me all the time. But yeah, Ukraine flag. Oh, those people are brave. They fight. Well, yeah, I mean, you walk the streets of Chicago, you should get a medal for that. Similar, I don't know. And with these smash and grab looters, have you seen this? I mean, one happened not too far away here in West Covina from where I live. They drive up cars, they smash these buildings, usually a jewelry store, grab everything and run. All right, we need to start shooting these people. It can be cops, but whatever. This stuff will be put to stop real quick if these people were just shot and killed. And that's cruel. They need those diamonds to pay for bread for their children. No, they don't. We need immediate responses to this stuff, and maybe you can't get there in time, but I guarantee if you showed up and started killing these criminals, I guarantee you would stop. Why do you think they're doing it? They're doing it because there is no risk. And even if you're caught, you're going to be released. And this is just another example of us encouraging crime. We encourage it. Was it catch and release? No release. No dollar bail. What is it? Or zero bail, I think is what it's called. We encourage crime. What you permit is what you promote. You're seeing crime in even fancy city, Beverly Hills, people in West LA going up, people on the sidewalk. Give me your watch. I mean, you can't have cops on every corner, but my goodness, you cannot handcuff police like we have done the past few years in the big, the big cities, of course, run by certain people. So yeah, I mean, this whole smash and grab thing, why do you think they do it? It's orchestrated, it's executed, but they also know that nothing will come of it. What? Maybe they're caught. Maybe they're thrown in jail for a night. No, you make crime illegal. That should be a universal thing. I'm not saying we cut people's hands off, although that might work. Like back in the day, back in other countries and such. You stole? What'd you do? Give me your hand. I mean, think about it for you people with parents or parents with kids. If there's never any discipline, how do you fix someone from continuing to do something? Well, just tell them, no, don't do it again. Don't do it again. Please don't do it again. Are you troubled? Will you please not do it again? Oh, you pull out a belt and you, okay, maybe that's right. Well, man, child abuse. Don't worry, guys. I'm not going to be a parent, but, dude, my mom and my dad, hey, we're going to fix this behavior real quick. And none of it was, over the top, but it was physical. It was physical, man. And it got the point ahead. So make crime illegal again. Can we do that somehow? I don't care. Democrat, Republican, Martian, whoever. Just get in here and make crime illegal. And start putting people in jail. Well, there's not, our jails are overcrowded. Then build a bigger one. Take out the air conditioning. Make it so that there's zero reason, well, they have no other option. Well, too bad. Too bad. This like, oh, gotta be compassionate for people. Too bad. No, compassion has got us nowhere. Be compassionate. They're trying hard. We're all trying hard. Life is not easy. Life is hard. I got bills to pay. I got things like there's things. Where do we get in that? Well, it's really hard. They can't do. What happened to the American dream? What happened to, hey man, go. You can accomplish whatever you want. Maybe you can't be an astronaut, whatever, but you can get a job. You can pay your bills. You can live a decent life. I don't know. Just we get overly compassionate at things. And I'm not saying you become a monster and just kick people when they're laying on the side of the road or something, but I mean, we can all help ourselves. We don't do that. Like there's not a challenge enough inside of us to be like, pick yourself up. Let's go. I mean, for so long I sat around and was like, oh, I'm going to catch a big break. I'm going to catch a break. If I keep doing these things and eventually you take your shot in some areas, it doesn't work out. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to different things that you got to do to make your life better, make your life stable. And I'm still learning. 37 going on 38. I'm like, oh, this is adulting. It's scary. It's very scary. Someone like me, it's terrifying, but it's, we got to, there's a fine line between compassion and like just excusing all bad behavior. We have to stop this. We can't excusing all bad behavior. It's awful. Here's another random random thing. So at FedEx, we're listening to music, different songs are going on. And the song, by J-Lo came on. I know this is random, guys. And it said, and the song, My Love Don't Cost a Thing. It was probably in the 90s, written maybe a long time ago. But as you're slinging boxes, sometimes you just start really listening to the lyrics. I'm like, even if you were broke, my love don't cost a thing. What? Tell that to your 7 husbands. Which of your 7 husbands were not millionaires? Your love don't cost a thing? Really, J-Lo? I mean, really? That was a real song you sang? And maybe it was back before all your marriages. There's no knock on J-Lo. I think she's very talented. But I just found that hilarious. My love don't cost a thing. Really? I bet it did. All those divorces. I don't know who got more money out of these. It's an observation, people. You get married, you want to get divorced, you want to make money. And then this is another thing. I got no knock on people that make a lot of money. None at all. Like I wish I could make more. And maybe I need to make more. Maybe it's a challenge to me. But like, I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, this guy makes money. How dare he? He's privileged or whatever. That's not me. I talk about Russell Wilson making millions of dollars, and people have a right to, if you make a lot of money, people are allowed to boo you or whatever. And J-Lo, I can criticize you here a little bit. You make a lot of money. You've had a great success, many, many husbands. But maybe that song is problematic. I don't know. I don't like that word, but I'm going to use it when it becomes reasonable to do so. Whenever you can use the fancy words that kind of the left uses all the time and kind of use it in common sense scenarios or just random stuff, it's fun to do. So I think that song should be canceled. My love don't cost a thing. I think it does. And that's my favorite. Now, there have been some celebrities who have, married someone who was just a normal guy, normal girl, not some other celebrity millionaire and such. So I applaud those people. But for the most part, it's like, you wouldn't give that person a time of day if they didn't have a lot of money or weren't famous. So anyway, those are just, again, some random thoughts to me. What else? See, we need Law and Order. I talked about that. Did I talk to you guys about the electric fly swatter yet? This is a purchase you need to make. And we bought the fly swatters. They came in a 2-pack, one for upstairs, one for downstairs, and they don't require batteries. Now you just charge them. They're shorter now. They got a good grip on them. This will change your life. You'll go, there's a light on it, so you can turn the lights off and get the fly to come to the light. We're going to have fly heads on the wall here very soon. But the electric fly swatter, I think it's called Zap. Yeah, I don't know how much it is, but it's worth every penny. It's actually very fun on a boring day, you sit around, and then when you hit, you hold the button down to charge it like for 5 seconds, and then when you hit the fly, it I know that's murder. How dare I? Fly lives matter. I shouldn't do that, but it's fun. Get yourself an electric fly swatter. It'll change your life. I got to tell you, especially in these hot summer months, although we're transitioning here into fall, you can already feel it kind of as the sun is going down. You get a little more wind, a little more breeze. You can smell it it just smells like autumn, right? Great coffee drinking weather, especially that pumpkin stuff starts to come out. Not the cold. Who is this iced coffee guy? Who invented this iced coffee? Why would you take something as perfect and beautiful as coffee and make iced coffee? I've tried this stuff. Why would you? It's like making a steak into a cold drink or something. Why would you do that? Well, this will, I don't know. Teenage girls will like this, or old, I don't know, kids. I don't know. Iced coffee? What is this? It tastes terrible. I don't care how much sugar and stuff you put in it. If you want a milkshake, go get a milkshake, but don't be like, I need a iced mocha coffee. Get out of here. It was 110 degrees last week. I was still drinking hot coffee. I had no issue with it. I'll tell you something else. Sometimes when it's raining and really cold outside, I get the craving to have some ice cream because I'm a lunatic. And it's different. It's unique. It's like, yeah, it still works. But this whole iced coffee craze. You want to talk about when we started to go south as a society? It's when we took the foundation, the forefathers, and all those pioneers of building cities and coffee drinkers, hot black coffee usually, and we started. It starts small, right? Oh, let's put a little sugar in that. Oh, let's put a little cream in it. Oh, let's put flavored cream. Let's put half of the thing as flavored cream and a dab of coffee. You know what would be really cool? Instead of it hot, let's make it cold. It happens over time. It starts small. The avalanche, it just rolls, snowballs, gets bigger and bigger. This is where we're at, which is ironic because it's iced. Certain things I just can't tolerate. You always hear about tolerance. Oh, the tolerant this, you got to be tolerant. No, you don't. You don't need to be tolerant of anybody. There's a group of people too that I'm incredibly intolerant of. And they're very annoying. They won't let things go. They're all over the TV all the time. And it's like, dude, can we move on? And this group of people, at one time I was like, yeah, I support you, man. And now it's like, okay, are we done with this? It's incredible. And I'm talking about, of course, Star Wars people. I respect it. You're fine. You're cool, whatever. But you're living in the past, or is it living in the future? Whatever you're doing. Do we need another Star Wars movie? Do we need another? Like the first three were great. First first three. That say it's all first three, second three, last three, middle three. Oh, this is before the before one. Oh, okay. They're just printing money. It's like, okay, we get it. There's a lightsaber. It's really cool. Someone's mom or someone's dad, let them go. Then they became good. They became a Jedi. Stop it. So annoying. I like Star Wars as a kid. And then even the new ones came out. Like, this is cool. And there's Star Wars nuts out there. I remember I took a class in college. What was it? It was something about, it was some nonsense class that I had to take it. I don't know, sociology. It was like something about our customs and like how society is. And the teacher was talking to, there was something, this is okay, Star Trek. I'm offending everyone. Oh, you call them Star Wars and Star Trek. Okay, whatever. Same thing. 49ers, Cowboys, interchange them. So she was talking about trends in our society and how we started talking about Star Trek. I guess they're called Trekkies. I don't know anything about Star Trek. I even know less than I do about Star Wars. And started talking about these Star Trek people, these Trekkies that would wear like the Star Trek outfit. Like there was a court reporter or a court bailiff or something, and she would wear a Star Trek outfit to her job, to her work, as like, because it was the Imperial this or whatever. I don't even know. Security force uniform. And Star Trek people, wearing jerseys. And so the teacher's point was, this stuff is like unacceptable in our society, but wearing a Star Trek uniform, middle of the day, but wearing like a sports team's jersey, like that's not weird. Like that's accepted. It's like, yes, it's accepted. What? And she was like analyzing, trying to teach us like, yeah, why is that? Why are these things acceptable? I'm like, because it is. It just is. I'm sorry. When's the last Star Trek figure to win a Super Bowl? This is the stuff in college. I was like, oh my God, you literally learned nothing in college. I was sitting there. It was my junior. Yeah, whatever. I was at Cal State Fullerton. I'm sitting there going, I paid money to take this class to basically to graduate and to learn to, I was like, and this is just one example of countless classes like that. It was like, you literally, and there would be people, I'm sure, that ran with that. It would be like, yes, it is patriarchal for men to wear jerseys and not allow Star Trek uniforms. How did I get on this? I went from Star Wars. You got to stop making Star Wars movies. You got to stop it. Can we stop that? Let's make some more football documentaries or something. And I know, I know many of you Star Wars people. I know you. You're good people. You just won't let this go. Turn the page. That's all I'm saying. Well, Matt, turn the page. Football's a new season, and it's unscripted. And they may not have lightsabers. Would you watch baseball more instead of a bat? They used a lightsaber. Would that interest you more? You can just float to second base or whatever. I've lost track of all the Star Wars stuff. I used to like the guns and the X-Wing flight things. Those were cool. Yoda, wisdom, right? So anyway, I was in college and I remember that story. I was just sitting there going, wow, you literally, yeah, you do learn nothing. You pay money to come here and be told like, to not think for yourself, to not like, well, why is it? Because it's dumb. It's stupid. It's not comparable. Now, do guys wear jerseys too often? Yes, I would agree with that. But like, if you wear a jersey to a game or whatever, I don't know. I'm not going to get into it. You want to wear a jersey? Wear a jersey. It's fine. But wear a jersey for a good player, right? I like the unique jerseys. Like one of my friends got one that's number 56. And it says is a Rams jersey, said Super Bowl on it. I thought that was cool. Unique Rams Super Bowl. I've always thought the Dodger jersey that has a microphone and Scully on the back was really neat. So give me something unique. I'm gonna wear a jersey. I have a London Fletcher jersey. Long time Ram won a Super Bowl. People are like, who's London Fletcher? He's a middle linebacker for the Rams Super Bowl team in '99. Undersized guy that on a team full of stars, Hall of Famers, Kurt Warner and Isaac Bruce, Marshall Faulk, all those guys. London Fletcher was my favorite player. So that's an example of, I don't know, type of guys I root for. Look, we've been all over the place today. Iced coffee, electric fly swatters. Oh, here's one. I haven't been over this before. It's one more thing. What is it with dogs? I've been here before. Okay, I deliver packages daily, right? I go to these doors, and I don't know what it is. Look, dogs lose their mind when you come to the door. I've been to a few where the dog just kind of comes and looks at you. I'm like, hey, dog, you're a good dog. You're my guy. But why is it that dogs act like anybody that comes to the door is trying to murder them and their neighbors? If you look at the history of people approaching the door, ringing the doorbell, there haven't been many murderers or criminals or robbers or intruders. And maybe in the dog's mind, it's because they like, oh, I scared him away again. They were going to murder us, but I scared them. But why does, like, if someone came to my door right now, I wouldn't be like, oh, someone's trying to murder me. Because throughout my 37 years, there hasn't been one person yet who's come to the door, to my knowledge, that's wanted to murder me. But animals, dogs, they lose their mind. Ah! Imagine if we all acted that way. I'm having a package delivered today. And I even know it's coming. And the guy comes to the door. I grab my Glock. I'm like, turn the lights off. Everyone quiet. I guess that's the opposite of the dog barking. But like, some people bark, some people bang with a gun. You know, I don't know. Just start shooting. Someone comes to the door, start shooting. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, whoa. Oh, Breonna Taylor. Oh, too soon. Anyway. Why do dogs do that? And people, train your animal. Can we do it? Can we do an experiment? Can we do a practice? Don't you get tired of when your dogs are barking when someone comes to the door? Or is that like your warning sign? I mean, these people are like holding their dogs back. It's okay. It's okay. As they're opening a door, like getting a package. Oh, I have to sign. Yeah, I'm sorry. Fido, sit down. I'm like, wouldn't it just take a little training session? Take 10 minutes, maybe it would take a few days. Stand by the doorbell, ring the bell, watch their reaction. No. Ring the bell, watch the reaction. No. Ring the bell. Good reaction. Here's a treat. Here you go. We get to watch a game now. I'm not a parent. I'm not a dog owner, but I have opinions. I have opinions about these things. And for now, opinions are allowed. They're not problematic. You know what I mean? So this weekend, big football tonight. Chargers, Chiefs. Although I will be out to dinner with my lovely girlfriend Valerie, supporting her birthday. I don't know if this place will have a TV or not to watch the game, but it will. She's lovely. She always position. We walk in a place. We don't go out that often, which is hilarious. But she does position herself. She'll look. She'll see the TV. And she'll know which side I want to sit on, so I can look into her beautiful eyes and above her head for the score. You men know what I'm talking about. That is a hidden talent amongst men, is the old quick score glance. Some people, are you looking at another woman? No, I'm looking at the score. Ladies, we're not that complicated, I got to tell you. And it could be anything. It could be a playoff game in football. It could be a random Wednesday night basket. We're going to check the score. And we might, as you're talking, look away for briefly, but we always come back to you. Come back to you. And it's also why we can sit in silence for hours. What are you thinking about? What? Why would you ask me that question? Well, no, what are you thinking about? I'm thinking about the Rams secondary and how they got torched by Josh Allen. That is what I'm thinking about. Do you want to know more detail? My favorite. She asked me, hey, what do you think of this? So I don't care. No, but seriously. I said, Val, if you ask me that again, I'm going to start asking you what you think about the Rams linebackers and the new rule changes in the NFL. I don't ask you these things, but that doesn't affect our lives. What? Absolutely affects our lives. Love that girl, man. And I'm getting there, guys. You guys, I know what you people thinking. Everyone always has opinion. I'm fine with opinions. Hey, Matt, you need to get in there. Okay. Rome wasn't built in a day. Like the Rams didn't win a Super Bowl in a day. It took 2016, 2022. Their travels here in LA. So, which is ironically also 6 years. Anyway, happy birthday, Valerie. That's Thursday. I said I would. She's sitting there. She's like, I forgot how loud you are. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, but Josh Allen is destroying the Rams. How they were in that game at halftime, I will never know. 10-10. That was crazy. All right, guys. I think that's it for me today. I think I covered everything. I've talked about Russell Wilson being able to boo people. I talked about upset Saturday in college football. J-Lo, love don't cost a thing. Yeah, right. The Chicago flag. How come we don't see any more of that anywhere? I think we need to. It would be appropriate, and it would show that you care. You care about people in war zones. And these smash and grab people. Shoot them on sight. No more of this stuff. And then this came up. I'm doing laundry today as well, but I looked at the laundry pile. You know what? Us men we need one of those in-betweener piles. We got our laundry basket, dirty clothes. I like being cleanliness, all very important. I don't like clothes that smell bad or look bad or whatever. But us males, we need that in-betweener pile. There's stuff in your closet is clean, in your drawers is clean. Stuff in the hamper is dirty. But there are those in-betweeners. Okay, I wore this shirt yesterday, but I'm going to go work out in this today, or I'm going to go sweat it. Like, it wasn't that bad. We need an in-betweener pile, a buffer, if you will. This isn't dirty, but it's not dirty enough. I wouldn't wear this on a date, but help me out here. A mini hamper, maybe a secondary hamper of some kind. Rather than it all goes in the laundry, it's like all or nothing with clothes these days. Sometimes I'll wear a FedEx shirt back-to-back days because it's like, well, who am I going to, this wasn't that dirty yesterday. I'm just saying, otherwise you end up doing lay it on top of your hamper pile. You don't want to put it in your drawers because I'm thinking out loud for men here. Ladies are like, how could you, what is that? I don't understand. Because other awful men will throw stuff on the ground. Well, this is the pile that, clothes on the ground is a no-no. Gender, species, no. Clothes on the ground, no. You're not a savage. You're not an animal. You're a human being. Clean up yourself. Put your clothes in the hamper and maybe create a secondary hamper for almost dirty. I like that. Let's have an almost dirty pile. These are things and knowledge you can't learn from anybody else. Maybe it's not knowledge, but it's words from me, Matt Hirschman, here on the Get Home Safe podcast. That's it for me, guys. I'll be back on Thursday. Please check out the Charge to Keep podcast, which is on the same platform, same networks. Me talking about my alma mater, Real Hondo Prep, in their football journeys here with the 2022 season upon us. And I'll be back next week, guys, on the Get Home Safe podcast on Thursday morning to vent and rant about whatever goes through my mind. And football is in full swing. Fall is upon us. I have lovely dinner plans tonight with my lady Valerie. So should be a fun weekend, and maybe sneak her down to SC just to hear the band and then come back for the game on television. That is her birthday gift. Me taking her to a football tailgate. Might not go so well, guys. Pray for me. I need it. Oh, we'll see. I'll let you know how it all goes next week on the Get Home Safe podcast. But guys, as always, no matter what you're doing, whether you're out on the town or around in third base, get home safe.